Hail and well met, my fellow Hearthstone players, and welcome to HeathCoach, the podcast that can help you be legendary. I am your host, Dan, and this is my co host, Fred.
Hello, everybody.
He is a player of Legend Rank, and I have convinced him to coach me and record it in podcast form and put it out there so as to hopefully help some more of you make it to Legend also. All right. Nice and smooth. Knock that out. How are we doing tonight, Fred?
I'm doing great, Dan. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Been
Actually, that's a lie. I'm not too happy, but it's
I
okay.
yeah, I know. You can share when we get to your week. My week's pretty brief here. I've just been trying out different decks and trying to find something I like. Of course, my silly self, I always try to put something together of my own in the beginning, play around, see what I come up with, and my week's usually a disaster. So I had fallen down to like about 18. I was like, all right, that's enough of that. Uh, Net decked a couple things. Been playing been playing a Jade Shaman. Sorry,
Oh,
but
Jade Shaman.
yep.
Okay.
And it's got me back to 15. Uh, been Tonight's been a little rough though. I've been hanging on to 15, but I haven't made any progress. So, but the new cards are fun. The meta's kind of crazy right now. Everyone's trying to figure things out. So,
Yeah, it's kind of an evolving thing right now. While people try to figure out what
yep.
works and what doesn't work.
I don't think it'll take as long as it did last time. I
Yeah,
think
well, yeah,
things
maybe
are
not.
kind of settling in. In my humble opinion, they kind of feel like. I think after this season, I think um, yeah, we'll probably settle in on some on what the meta will probably look like, at least for a little while, at least
Yep.
another month or two anyway. So how's Oh, I kind of know. We chatted earlier. So
So
how's it going?
I so what is it? Day 6, right? So in five,
Yep.
in 4 days, I got to rank 5. I'm feeling pretty good on myself. I'm like, this guy knows how
Really
to
well.
play this game. I'm just trying. I tried a variety of things that were popular. There was obviously Pirate Warrior was very strong. Dragon Warrior that we tried last week. Remember that? Which was the first
Yep.
day.
With
Um,
Dragon Priest.
Dragon Priest, yeah. I played a lot of that. Then the Rogue emerged with also pirate cards in it. So I tried some of that. It was a lot of fun. I got to rank 5. I'm like, yeah. And then we'll get to our guest in a second, but he was trying to make the push for Legend, and I said, I could do this too last night, except it didn't work out that way. I ended up going down back to rank 8. All these crazy RNG things that were happening. A lot of Reno. Apparently, that's what I think shifted from like the first 4 days to the fifth, and I guess into the sixth day because I stayed up past midnight, which is, again, we've talked about this. It's not something I recommend, and we shouldn't do. But I was losing so much. I'm like, I need to get a win for moral support and to get because I'm too mad to go to bed. But I think between the day 5 and 6, I think that's one of the things that's become apparent is that, sure, there's all these aggressive pirate-based decks because of patches, but Reno is back with a vengeance. I'm seeing Mountain
Yeah.
Giants, I'm seeing Reno Mages, Reno Priest, Reno Lock, and they seem to
Yep.
have all kinds of answers. I mean, there's a priest that I'm thinking, oh, I'm playing against Dragon Priest because they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, everything activated. I'm like, oh, this is Dragon Priest, and all of a sudden, like Kazakus shows up with a spell. I'm like, what just happened? Or they Reno me. I'm like, what? Ugh. Anyway, I think let me hold the discussion on that and introduce because that's my week. I don't want to continue ranting because I went on a pretty bad tilt. But
No, really?
I will introduce our guest, language hacker. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
He
Thanks for
hails
doing it.
all the way from the True North.
Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto, Canada. Our neighbors upstairs, way up there. Some people complaining here that it's cold. I'm sure that you guys are maybe not yet, but soon.
It's getting there. Around our place, for some reason, for the past few weeks, we've had it dropped to like -1, and then it went back up to like 12 the next day, and then it dropped again, and well, in Celsius. So for you guys, it'll be a bit different.
Right.
Oh, okay, Celsius.
It's there's a bit of variance on our end here too in terms of the weather.
-1 Celsius is like freezing. A little below.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it's okay. That's different.
it'd be 32 degrees for us.
Yeah, 32 is freezing for us. So that's 0, right?
Yeah. So
0
I think
Celsius.
So. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather or the metric
system.
or
Yeah.
the Celsius.
That's another
or
debate,
system.
another podcast
Oh, man.
altogether.
We're the only ones that use this other thing. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
America for you. So yeah, we were talking earlier because I couldn't remember exactly where we had crossed paths, but it was way back in a Hard Stats, which was one of the first tracking tools that existed. They were running a league type tournament, and he was one of the opponents, and we didn't even end up playing against each other. But he has stayed on the list since, and we talk occasionally about the meta. So
Complaining mostly.
yeah, about our bad fortune. But maybe
there-
tell us a little bit about kind of your history with the game. When did you start playing, and like your background in gaming in general?
Sure. Well, to start off with Hearthstone, I started, it was a long time ago. I think just after open beta ended, I picked it up. I don't think I actually got into the beta. I applied a couple times because my friends, I think one of my friends got in and he said, "Hey, this is a cool game. You should check it out." Eventually, I picked it up, and since then, I've been a really bad player for like a year or a year and a half, and then I kept going at it, and I learned, and since then, I've hit Legend for my first time. I don't know how long ago, 2 years maybe, and then I started climbing a bit on the Legend ranks, and eventually, most recently, I've made it to the BlizzCon summer prelims and spring prelims in the Americas. Didn't make it all the way, or even to top 8, but that's room for improvement, and that's what I'm hoping to go for now in I guess BlizzCon 2017.
Oh, that's awesome. I know you were collecting those points, participating in weekly cups and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Well, it sounds like with the new format, there's going to be even more opportunity now, right? If I understand it correctly.
More opportunities, but fewer points. Like the point distribution is going to be a bit more spread out from what I've read. I believe last year you were able to get points, BlizzCon points for tournaments once a week. So your highest placement in a tournament, that's the amount of BlizzCon points you would get for the week. Now they've reduced that to a month. So you can win BlizzCon points from open tournaments once a month.
Okay.
Which is a huge change. I mean, whether it's good or not, I don't know. But you can still get it. Hey, go ahead.
No, I guess just saying we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see, yeah. And I guess that'll put more emphasis on ladder, which historically I've tried to bang my head against the ladder a lot. I haven't had much success, but I guess last week, literally a week ago, was the first time I sat down and said, all right, like, if we're going to BlizzCon, we need to start, working on ladder, not just tournaments. And we got to top, I think, I peaked at 100, and then right before the timer stopped, I got to, I think, 130 something.
Okay, now there's points there, right? Between
there's technically one more point.
Okay, well, hey, every point counts,
Yeah, it's gonna count. Yeah.
So I get my 1 point, so that's good, but that's about it. Because I never tried. It's just too time consuming.
I find, in terms of mechanics and playstyle, I've developed a lot, but the biggest thing I think I need to work on is not tilting and just staying calm.
I think we're similar on that. It's like, oh god, so emotional, and then it's like last night, such a disaster. So did you have a background in card games like Magic, or this is your first attempt at this style?
I played Magic like on a weekend once with some friends, but I didn't really get into it. I played Yu-Gi-Oh when I was young, but again, nowhere near at the same level. It was just something to play with the friends at the time. I don't think anything specifically got me into this genre specifically. I just kind of picked it up along with my friends. We just go from game to game, and I kind of stuck to this one. They've since moved on, but I'm still stuck here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there was that wave of people that have abandoned the game. Uh, but then there's the tried and true, the soldiers that are
Yeah,
still out there. Just
it's still going
Yeah.
strong, and
Yeah.
the content being released is still fun and maybe not interactive, but entertaining.
Well, I don't know. Has anybody heard? Not to interrupting, but I forget which podcast I heard it on where they were talking about maybe they'll try and incorporate some of the other universes, StarCraft, Diablo, into Hearthstone.
so the first thing you may notice when you open the client now, the Heroes of Warcraft thing was removed. It just says Hearthstone. Not sure if you picked up on that, Dan.
Oh,
When you open
no, I
the
did not.
when you open
Maybe
the
that's what
game
brought it.
and their whole branding, they got rid of the Heroes of Warcraft thing. So,
Interesting.
and I heard
Oh,
also that one of the tavern brawls, somebody's mined the art, and it's about Diablo, because there's the 20th anniversary of Diablo coming up. So we'll see if they
okay.
have some Diablo cards. That would be interesting. But
Yeah,
I
but
mean that
we're
I think that's the natural idea, right? It's
sure.
use all the properties. Why
I mean,
not?
you could probably pull out some interesting mechanics,
Hmm.
but we're kind of wandering away. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like derail us into the kind of podcast we're not supposed to be.
Oh yeah, to speculate about the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we,
all
we
good.
we don't do like card reviews and news a whole
So
lot, but
back to our
yes,
esteemed guest.
please. I'll try. You see, I'll try not to derail us again.
It's okay. The one of the things people like to know is, are you free to play? Have you dropped like a bunch of money because you're impatient and wanted the card collection? Let me make a prediction based on what you said about playing for about a year and just kind of grinding it out. You're probably mostly free to play, but I don't know. Maybe that's not right.
Uh, I started off free to play,
Okay.
and I think the more frustrated I became, I think the more money I started throwing at the game. To an extent, when I saw Crypt start doing, just arenas and grinding up money and doing it like completely free to play, I was inspired and I did a lot of arena instead of following ranked competitive for a while, but nowhere near as well as he's done. So eventually, I did have to. Well, I didn't have to, but I kind of wanted some golden cards and some legendaries, and it's a lot easier to just spend time learning with the proper cards than it is to grinding them. But there's fun in both.
Well,
I can see that.
oh yeah. Well, once you get a couple of decent decks together, you can make some progress with. It's not too hard to grind out some gold, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Okay. So
it's getting that initial collection together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did initially probably buy two or three of the 40 packs. Is that what it is? $50? Maybe three rounds of those. And then I buy the expansions and the adventures from there on. But I did not buy gadgets in. I used
Yeah.
gold. So
Yep. We just used our gold on this one.
yeah, no need, because they didn't have the card back. That's normally the only, not the only reason, but one reason to do it. Okay. The Another thing our listeners like to know is, like, what is your favorite class and archetype of deck to play?
So I think my favorite class kind of. Oh, sorry. My favorite. No, yeah, my favorite class changes a bit with a meta because I like exploring the new options that they keep giving us. But the first archetype that really sparked my interest was Ramp Druid back when it was not Combo Druid, like way before that. The first time I hit Legend, it was with the actual Ramp Druid, where you just ramp up the big minions and then play it kind of like a control game. And while that itself wasn't necessarily full control, that kind of led me towards the control archetype. And when I started playing Control Warrior and Control Priest, when that became popular as well, I think that has become my favorite archetype.
Okay.
But I still bounce back and forth based on the meta because I still think it's good to understand all the different archetypes and classes so that you can play them in tournaments, but also play against them when you play your favorite stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the ways that you can best learn how a deck works, is just by playing it, and you see how it wins, and then you learn more about it, and what when you lose, why they did to you. It's kind of enlightening. Oh, that's how you lose with this, even. And you may be doing things wrong when playing against it. But we were
If I
talking.
had to, Oh, sorry. If I had to pick a favorite class, I would probably go with Mage, just because that's what I used to play in World of Warcraft before Hearthstone.
Okay.
And I just like the tempo style is nice too, but that's not my favorite archetype.
Yeah. That's my bread and butter, more the tempo, but it's more of a time issue. Like I just don't like playing 28-minute games.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
There's no time for that, but maybe.
it happens.
Um, we were talking earlier that I think this is going to be, or I heard somebody say that this period right now before the next adventure, which will mark the new year of standard, is the largest standard card pool that we will ever have right now.
Right.
Which, as we were talking about Reno, that makes sense that a Reno deck can be so effective because you have so many cards. Even with one-offs, you have super good one-offs that
No kidding.
that work out, and that kind of dawned on me. I'm like, no wonder they have all the answers and all this good stuff. Even with my deck, I play a normal 2-off kind of deck with all the redundancies built in. Somehow I get outvalued by these Reno locks, and then once you even have them close to death, then they have these specific
Crazy comebacks and
comeback
board
mechanics
swings.
like Reno or Taunt or whatever it is that just gets them there. Or Kazakus that gives them 10 armor, or crazy things that happen. So that's going to be interesting. I think they probably will, when they rotate out some of these sets, then it'll diminish, right? Because it's not going to be, the card pool is not going to be as large, so there's going to be not as many choices. At least I suspect. So for those Reno players, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, I guess the options are supposedly going to become more limited until the next expansion hits.
Yeah, and we don't know. They haven't said anything on timing. It's Blizzard, right? So you never know.
No.
But they're going to change. Well, we're getting into a review, but
Speculation again.
Yeah, they're going to change the BlizzCon though to not be in November. It'll coincide with the cycle, so.
Which I think is a fair point.
So it's not. I guess it's not going to be called BlizzCon. It's going to be called the World Championships. They're not going to be at BlizzCon, I guess. Maybe they'll hold some.
I thought the Hearthstone Championships aren't going to be at BlizzCon anymore, right?
Right.
Because it's such a big event, they've had to move it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And I wonder if they'll hold some kind of tournament, but not going to be the big one. So I think that's a good thing.
Well, there'll be like new cars. There'll be, oh shoot, the old stage stuff with the pros.
Yeah. The announcements and stuff. Yeah, definitely. Panels and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been trying to get tickets, or I have, for the last 2 years, and I'm never successful. So anyway, that's not.
You gotta get there in the competition, guarantee your spot.
I know. It's like, I'm bitter about that too. Let's not go into it because then I'll bring the podcast down. I don't want to do that. Okay, well, anything else you want to plug? Like, I know you stream at languagehacker. I'm going to put it on the show notes so people can go check it out. And you stream
languagehacker on Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch. Is it pretty regularly or is it sporadic?
It's how would I say it? Regularly sporadic.
You get out on a regular basis, just not a regular schedule.
Yeah, so I'm working relatively full time until December, and then I'm taking a leave of absence. And in that 4, 5, 6 months, I'm hoping to actually stream consistently, like 5 days a week.
Okay,
cool.
In an extra schedule. So if you are interested, you can catch me after New Year's. I'll be trying to stream every day.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give him a follow now, so you'll get notified when he goes online, and when he starts more consistent, you'll know where to find them. So, cool. Well, let me see. I think, Dan, there was a little bit of business. There was a iTunes review that came in.
Yes. Oh, yes, we had one come in from Franco21. Sent in we had another lovely 5-star review, so thank you very much for that. So I don't know. We owe a couple of videos at this point, don't we?
Well, we owe one. This
At
is
least
one of
one.
them, and then there's the one
Okay.
for patrons. So we got to do that
That's-
one too. But yeah.
Yes.
Um.
We'll get that one soon.
Oh, there's one more thing before we move on. I want to clarify. I have a red hat with white letters, but I want to make sure that it's not a make America great again. It's
Okay.
in case you can't see it. This is the hat that Blake Hall, the winner of was it the second tournament and local Atlanta player, gave me as a gift last time I went to a local tavern brawl, and it says making Hearthstone players better since February of 2015, which is when the
Nice.
podcast started. We're coming up on 2 years, so I'm going to show it real quick so people can see it. And Dan is also sporting something.
Oh yeah, I like this. This was mine. Of course, play on my name and my eternal quest to become legendary. Of course, more metal than legendary. Yes, I love this hat. I wore it out to for Thanksgiving out to the for the family, so I could tell them all about it.
So I just wanted to mention that, and thanks to Blake Hall again for the generous and thoughtful hats. Okay, so language hacker, let's
Get to the deck.
let's go into this deck. People have been maybe getting a little bit sick of shaman, but you can't deny the effectiveness. So let's go ahead and stick to it.
All right, let's
That's a
go right
little
in.
different though.
Yeah, I mean it's not the
different.
one we've been playing the mid range that was very powerful with Thunder Bluff and that kind of stuff. This is a little bit different, so maybe take us through what you got here.
Sure. So before I actually go in, I just want to make sure I shout out the creator of this deck because his name is Zorkthar, Zorkthar. I think you can find him on Twitter and Facebook. So it's not my original deck list, but I used his list card for card to get legend, I guess, in the past few days. From rank 3 up to legend, anyways. It's if you look at it as a general overview, it's very reminiscent of the old school aggressive shaman. So before mid-range shaman became very popular last expansion, there was a time where it was just face shaman and ladder. And this is very similar to that list. The only difference is on the early game, we have a couple of, and I literally mean a couple of pirates to help combat the other pirate decks on ladders. So you're trying to always have a guaranteed early game play, like on turns 1, 2, 3, and so on. And also to just make sure you get an aggressive start against Reno decks, because as soon as they drop Reno, your win percentage kind of drops
Yeah,
as well.
it's more to escape concede kind of win percentage, but yes, you can pull it out sometimes.
Okay. So to start off, we got 2 lightning bolts. Classic shaman card, overload. I mean, it's good for spot removal. It's good for face. It serves a similar purpose, kind of like tempo mage spells. When you buff up your mana worm, it can buff the tunnel trog, so it increases the strength of your board while being used as removal, or it can be used as extra burst, the actual damage plus the burst, the buffing of the trog. Which is also why we run 1 spell damage in the deck, which is Blood Mage, but we'll get to that in a bit. The next card will be Patches. Part of the reason we put pirates in this in the first place is because Patches is, I don't want to say broken, but it's very, very strong for 2 reasons, or 3 even. One is it's basically a free mana's worth of cards that just shows up on the board whenever you play pirate. Granted, sometimes you draw it, and that's terrible. But when you get it pulled from playing another pirate, it thins your deck for one, which means you have a lot more options to draw better cards than just the 1 mana 1/1 charge. It has immediate charge effect, which when used with Flame Tongue can clear a bigger minion, or it can just ping face a couple times if you drop it on turn 1. Following that, we have 2 Small-Time Buccaneers, which primarily is to pull Patches, but it also works well with the weapons we run in the deck. And if you have a weapon, it's effectively a 1 mana 3/2 that pulls that pulls patches, which is really strong.
Yep.
And if you have this on turn 1 and you pull out a Flame Tongue with it, you automatically you already have 2 minions on the board that Flame Tongue can buff. So that's right off the bat on turn 2. You can get 6 face damage or just trade efficiently. When I'm going through, should I just list out the cards, or do you want me to just explain it as well?
Yeah, no, and the
okay.
The Small Time Buccaneer, by the way, and Patches, I think are the only 2 cards in this deck from the Gadgetzan. So if you're not familiar with them, the Buccaneer gets a +2 if you have a weapon equipped. It's a 1/2. Think of it as like Cogmaster. Instead of the mech edition, it's the weapon edition. So it's just like that. GVG back in the day, when you had a mech, it went to a 3/2. This is when you have a weapon, it goes to a 3/2. So just want to explain that for our audio listeners because they may not be looking at it, and those are the new cards. The rest of this stuff is from the prior card pool. So
right.
Yep.
Which is also good for your wallet because I think there's only 2 legendaries if you count Patches, and Thalnos you could probably. It's not completely replaceable, but if you had to, you could replace it with like a Geomancer Kobold or whatever, Kobold Geomancer.
Yes.
Moving down, we have 2 Spirit Claws, which we saw, I think, came in during Karazhan, I believe, one-headed Karazhan. Useful as a weapon to buff the Small Time Buccaneer, and it's good to have like an extra ping early game, or if you happen to roll spell damage totem or have Thalnos, you can use it as a 3 damage removal. Or if you're against the Reno deck, you can hit him in the face 3 times for 9, which is 1 mana, 9 damage over 3 turns. It's pretty good.
Not bad.
It's so disgusting.
Next, we have a staple, Tunnel Trog. Again, we want to ensure that we have something on turn 1, because if you can put something on the board without completely emptying your hand, like if you draw 3 1-drops, it's kind of sad because your hand's going to be gone very quickly.
Yep.
But if you draw something on curve, where you can curve out all the way to turn 5, 6, and hopefully kill them by then, but if it goes beyond, you're going to start running out of cards. So Tunnel Trog works with all the Overload cards in the deck. It's good to contest the other Pyrotechs on ladder because everyone else pulling Patches. Patches is a 1/1, Tunnel Trog is a 1/3.
Yep.
Pretty good trade. Trades well with N'Zoth's First Mate, and it can even trade with Small Time Buccaneer on your opponent's side if you happen to buff up the Trog. Blood Mage Thalnos, like I said, it works well with Spirit Claws, but we're also running 2 AoE removals, which I'll get to in a second. So the spell damage helps in Pirate Mirrors, not necessarily Shaman versus Shaman, but Shaman versus Warrior, or Rogue, or whatever Pyrotechs you run into. And it can help you guarantee some extra burst damage with your spells or enable the Spirit Claws. Next, we have 2 Flame Tongues, another Shaman staple, like I mentioned, with the 1, 2, 3, 4 1-drops, 5 if you count Patches. The 5 1-drops we're running, Flame Tongue can help just push if you don't draw anything else. Sometimes you might want a Totem on 2, but if you want to go for that aggressive start, you can drop Flame Tongue. After that, we have Maelstrom Portal, working with Thalnos. Even by itself, just deal 1 damage to all enemy minions and summon a random 1-cost minion. That's good in Pirate Mirrors, because if you look at N'Zoth's First Mate, if you look at Patches, even if you look at Small Time Buccaneer, if you hit those all for 1, most of them die, and Small Time Buccaneer goes down to 1 health, which means most of the things that come out of the Maelstrom Portal, the minions that get summoned, can trade into the Small Time Buccaneer, or you can finish it with a Spirit Claws or a Tunnel Trog you already have on the board, or your own Patches. It just makes Pirate Mirrors very... it can swing in your favor if they get the board first.
And if you're really good like my opponents, you pull out Patches out of Maelstrom Portal.
And then you get a charge. Yeah, that's true. It can also pull out Southsea Deckhand, another charging pirate.
Stung Tusk Boar, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. There's some goodies in there. Continuing down, Rockbiter. Some people didn't like this after it was nerfed in mid-range Shaman, and rightfully so, but in aggro, it's still pretty good. If you don't have early game, if you didn't draw 1-drops, if you even flopped on your 2-drops and you kind of want to kill like a Bloodsail Raider on the board, or a Tunnel Trog, or what have you, you can still just drop the Rockbiter on turn 2 for removal until you curve out better. We're also running Doomhammers later on, which I'll talk about. But again, Doomhammer with Rockbiter is a really huge combination of cards that will let you deal a bunch of face damage. And this is also how you can sometimes win after they drop Reno. If you just happen to be sitting on 2 Rock Biters and you still have Doomhammer equipped,
Yep.
that's 18 damage in a turn just from yourself, assuming you have no minions and no spells, which is more than half their health. So it's pretty strong. Totem Goal. I'm going through. We're halfway through the list and we're still at 2 drops.
Oh yeah, this is
It kind of tells you how aggressive
it's
it
a
is.
low curve. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think when we do Face Hunter, I don't think we get past the 3-drop.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
the technically highest thing here is 5, and it's Doomhammer, and because thing from below doesn't even count. That you play
it
that for
does
2 or for 0. So anyway, yeah, we're at Totem Golem. I don't know if there's anything to say about this.
Yeah, Totem Golem, good against Pirate Warrior. There are a few things that answer it. They'll have to bump 2 minions in it. They'll have to use War Axe and Patches, War Axe and Upgrade, sometimes a Heroic Strike, which is a good clean removal for them, but it also removes face damage and prevents them from building a board. In the Shaman Mirror, if they drop a Tunnel Trog and you can coin out a Totem Golem, it's not guaranteed to punish them, but it's a well-known punish. So if they happen to not have a way to clear Totem Golem on turn 2, after you cut it out, you get a free trade on the Tunnel Trog.
Yep.
It's a stickier early game minion that's aggressive and hard for other early game decks to kill in one swift trade. We have 2 Argent Horse Riders. These work well, A, because they charge, so you can do more face damage, but B, also works well with Flame Tongue. So from hand, with Flame Tongue and Horse Rider, you can do a 4 damage burst.
Yep.
If you have a Flame Tongue on the field already, this isn't a 2-1 charge anymore, it's a 4-1 charge with Divine Shield, which can be very useful in many situations. And also lets you juggle the Flame Tongue buff to use it more effectively. Just for the record, every card we've gone over, there are 2 copies of, except for Patches and Blood Mage Stalnos, because they're legendaries. Everything else in the deck will be a 2 of.
If they weren't, you would put 2 of them.
That's Patches. You would.
Get 2 patches right out of the gate.
But then we're getting into Gang Up Rogue at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, after Horse Rider, we have Feral Spirits. Same thing. It's a good early game aggressive start with your Tunnel Trog. If you're against other pirate decks or just aggressive decks in general, it can hold off their minions if their minions don't have 3 attack, which some of the pirates do, some don't. Against Patches, against Bloodsail Raiders that aren't buffed, against N'Zoth's First Mate, against Tunnel Trogs, they can't quite break the Feral Spirit, so again, they'll have to use multiple removal into it. There is obviously the downside that that it causes overload, but I mean, this is Shaman.
Yeah, that's just part of it.
I guess it's important to note that they do have Taunt, which can also help in the mirror if you're going really back and forth and you think you can stabilize with this against pirate decks, or you can just use them to protect other important minions that you can go face with. Okay, 2 more spells, Lava Burst times 2. Mostly used for face, but there are a lot of good removal options you can use these for. I keep coming back and saying in the Pirate Mirror, there's a lot of pirate decks on ladder right now, so this is something you should keep in mind. But mainly against Pirate Warriors, if they happen to drop Frothing Berserker, there isn't a card in your deck that does 4 damage before turn 3. It's only Lava Burst. So if you're fighting for board and they drop a Frothing Berserker or a Fierce Monkey or a Bloodsail Cultist that you need to get rid of, Lava Burst can do that.
Yep.
So it's good to remove high target threats in the mirror. It's good to remove high target threats against control decks, and it's obviously face damage that can go over taunts, which helps you finish off some opponents. Flame Wreath Faceless, it's a bit slow. Slow 4 mana 7/7. But it's a bit slow compared to the rest of the deck. But again, it buffs Tunnel Trog. If you look at the decks on ladder right now, I think there is one deck that runs removal for Flame Wreath Faceless, and that would be Reno Lock with a 1 of Siphon Soul. I haven't seen Mulches, I haven't seen Naturalizes, I haven't seen Executes, I haven't seen... Okay, Shadow Word Deaths for Dragon Priest, I guess is the second one. But if you're up against Druids or the Mirror or other pirates and you drop a 4 mana 7/7, they can't trade into that efficiently. And they either have to just try to throw everything at it or ignore it and go face. And if they ignore it and go face, you can either value trade with it or race them back because you have a ton of burst in your deck, which depends on the game and the circumstances. But it's difficult for opponents to deal with, so if you can get it down, it's guaranteed to get some value.
Yeah, and the Reno priests have Entomb as well, if you're skilled like all my opponents. If you're me, you never draw it, but yes, that's another answer. BGH has never seen play for a while, although I think I saw one with Dragon Priest when I did the Discover. BGH was in there. So
I've seen one BGH in a Reno list out of like my past, I don't know, I want to say 300-400, maybe 200-300 games I've played in the past week. Yeah, I've seen one BGH, so it's unlikely. Another thing to note about this is, since it's such a big minion, and like Reno Lock is fairly common on ladder right now, even if they have Reno and they play it, if you have these on board, you can just hit him for a quarter of his health again.
Yep.
Which is good. Or trade him to Reno, depends on what you want to do. But it's difficult to deal with, basically. Doomhammer, our second to last card here, works with Small Time Buccaneer because it buffs them. It works with Tunnel Trog. It works with Rockbiter.
It's Doomhammer. What is there?
It's Doomhammer. It's been there for a while. We know what it does. It does a lot of face damage. It can help you clear stuff in the Shaman Mirror. In the Pirate Mirror, you might not want to be trading that much with your face because you can get low, but it's a powerful weapon. And with all these oozes on ladder and Harrisons and whatnot, a lot of Reno locks or Reno decks, or even in the mirror against pirates, they just drop their ooze on turn 1, 2, 3, 4 on your first weapon, say Spirit Claws, because hey, it's a weapon. I can't, like, I'm not going to hold this for 6 turns. This is why it's in the deck. Let's play the ooze. And then when you whip out Doomhammer, they say, oh, I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah, I should have kept that.
So yeah, adds more weapons to the deck, and weapons are strong in themselves, especially Doomhammer. And the final card, Think from Below. When your mana doesn't really add up and you have to totem, which gives you spell damage or heals or taunts or a 1/1 totem or whatever, this gets cheaper. So when you're filling in the mana curve on the way up to turn 5, 6, 7, this will slowly get cheaper. It gets cheaper with totem golems that you play and flame tongue totems that you play. And it's a swingy card. You can play it for a big swing after a board clear with the one board clear running Maelstrom Portal. Yep. Or if you just need to stop face damage coming in, you can use this.
So, I have a question. Do you feel like you run out of cards? Is that part of the challenge? Or you think it curves out in a way that's not an issue?
I'd say in well over, let's say, three out of 4 games, you'll curve out fairly well. Maybe not a perfect curve, but you'll have something to play on one most of the time. On turn 2, 3, 4, you'll be fine as long as you don't super overload yourself. There are games I have, which happens with some face decks, where you have 4 1-drops in your opening hand, and then on turn 3 you just kind of sit there without cards and say, I hope he doesn't have Hellfire or Demon Wrath or Maelstrom Portal and sorry about that. And sometimes that does kind of happen, and when you draw the hand, you kind of have to go all in, because if you sit there and totem for 2 or 3 turns, you're not really being aggressive. You're trying to play a value game where you don't have valuable cards because they're all 1-drops with small incremental values.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you draw like that, you just have to go all in and say, I mean, you need the AoE or I'm going to kill you in a few turns.
Right. Okay.
How about it's also funny in the mirror, because in the mirror, it's a nice little dance where you try to keep each other's board small because you don't want them to snowball with minions. Pirate warriors can buff their weapons if they have pirates left on the field. Shaman can trade with flame tongues. So you're trying to like equalize the removal, but also you want to push face because you still want to kill him, and it's a dance effectively.
Yeah. Hey Dan, did you have any questions on this one? Or
no, seems fairly straightforward. Be interested. Any tips on like mulligans?
So obviously, if you have patches, throw it back.
Yeah.
You generally want to keep, in I'd say almost every matchup, you'd want to keep Tunnel Trog, Small Time Buccaneer. I wouldn't keep 3 of them. If you have 2 1-drops, I would generally keep them. Lightning Bolt, it depends on the matchup. In Pirate Mirrors, it can be useful against Small Time Buccaneers, Bloodsail Raiders, Tunnel Trogs, Totem Golems. But against decks that you think are control. Reno, you probably don't want to keep the lightning bolts. You would rather just go for the 1-drops and try to curve out from there. Sometimes you just don't get the 2-drops, and you don't have enough 1-drops to curve out either. So Totem is an option, which still helps. It helps buff the Spirit Claws. It helps get you spell damage for AoE. It helps you get more things on the board for Flame Tongue. But generally, go for 1 or 2 1-drops and keep Spirit Claws in the aggressive matchups. You might not want to keep them against control, because if you play it on turn 1 and then you know you're not going to be playing spell damage, you just have minions to play, it's technically like a 1-mana 3 damage, which isn't great against control because they don't have a lot of small stuff to ping off with.
Right.
But yeah.
All right, cool. All right, shall I hit the big button?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead and.
Do you have Dan on your list?
Oh.
So you can spectate. I sent you the his BattleNet on.
Oh, I just got it. I think I added him now.
And then we can just spectate him. That's how we do it.
Sure.
Now, while he queues up, there was one thing I wanted to ask you, and I forgot during the introductory part, and that is, and we can maybe after this game, if you had any tips for our listeners about how to get to Legends, since you've done it so many times. But let's do that after the game, because we narrate it. So.
All right, so I'm going first, and it may feel like we overtalked this a bit, but it's for our audio listeners. Okay, I drew Thing from Below, Lightning Bolt, and an Argent Horse Rider. Or against a mage. I don't know, would I keep the Horse Rider?
I would throw everything back.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's not Tempo Mage, in which case you want your 1-drops to pressure a horse. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, we get our Spirit Claws anyway, and a Rockbiter weapon, and a Doom Hammer, which is a little bit early, but
hey,
I think we'll live.
You have your finisher in hand.
Yes. Yeah, I do, or literally. All right, we get a Flame Tongue weapon, so this is pretty simple. I guess I'll play the Spirit Claws.
Yep.
Do we swing with them already?
I don't think you need to. The next few turns look kind of slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and that's my turn. I got a Flame Tongue Totem, Doom Hammer, and a Rockbiter in my hand.
All right, so our friend the Mage has had 5 cards in hand. One of them is the coin. 1 mana. He plays a Babbling Book, and that's it.
All right. Well, I drew the Feral Spirits, and I don't see really any cards to play, so I'd probably just Hero Power at this point.
Yep, I would do the same.
Go ahead and take out the Battling Book.
Yep.
Yep. All right, use that.
Yep.
So that's my turn in my hand. I got Feral Spirits, Flame Tongue Totem, Doom Hammer, Rockbiter weapon.
All right.
And
second
and the Healing
turn
Totem.
for the Mage is she's at full health. Has 7 cards. One of them is the coin that she decided to play, and an Arcane Intellect. So this is either some kind of Reno or Freeze, but I haven't seen Freeze, so.
I haven't seen Freeze in a while, so this will probably be that Reno thing. They're probably going to try and make a spell soon.
I don't think it's tempo because you do the coin like that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just throw it away. So okay.
Anyway, I drew a Totem Golem. I would be inclined to play my Feral Spirits at this point.
I would be inclined to agree.
All right. So I play my Feral Spirits. I'm going to hold my weapon. I got the Totem Golem, Flame Tongue, Doom Hammer, and Rockbiter in my hand.
Is the plan here that if this lives, the Flame Tongue comes down and starts punishing?
Yeah, punishing. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Carrying Tor Mage comes out, and a secret. Well, Flame Tongue would be good against Mirror Entity, but let's see what our coach here decides.
Yeah, we drew the Maelstrom Portal. I would still be inclined to play the Flame Tongue.
He played a Carrying Tor and played a secret, which, of course, we don't know what it is.
It's important to note he didn't get it from the Babbling Book. He played it from his deck. So it likely Ice Block or Ice Barrier, but it could be something else.
If it's Freeze Mage, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
So we go ahead and drop the Flame Tongue and go face?
I like dropping the Flame Tongue in between the doggies.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll see if anything happens.
It is a potion of polymorph. Okay.
Which is not the end of the world. I would trade with the dog on the left and your face, though.
So take out the current tour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, so Potion of
Gotcha.
Polymorph is a new secret from this expansion, Gadgetzan, and whenever you play a minion, it turns it into a 1/1 sheep. So that cost us 4 damage, but it leaves us with a 1/1. We dealt with it for 2 mana, so you know.
So yeah, I did what he said. And I got a Maelstrom Portal, Total Golem, Doomhammer, Rockbiter in my hand.
Water Elemental comes down.
All right, Small Time
okay.
Buccaneer.
Wow.
Less of an obvious turn here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. No, let me take a stab at it. There's no clean way right now to remove
Correct.
the Water Elemental. But we do have our Taunt out here, but they could get rid of that pretty easy, like. We can't. No, Coach, what do you think?
So I would play the Small Time Buccaneer on the far left. I would then Totem. And then see what we get. It does not spell damage. And then I would place Totem Golem on the far right.
Totem Golem on the far right.
Yep. And I would hit face with everything.
If I hold the weapon?
You can throw the weapon at face too. We're likely equipping Doomhammer next turn since our hand is not very useful. So we might as well push that 1 extra face damage. If it was spell damage, we might have considered trading because we had the option to kill the Water Ellie semi-efficiently.
With the Rockbiter, you mean?
Even with the Rockbiter or even without. We're getting into turns where he may have AoE, so it's not completely wrong to trade the board away because we're sitting on Doomhammer Rockbiter anyways.
Yeah. Alright, turn 5 from the mage. She's at 23 health. There's a Water Elemental on the board. 7 cards in hand. 1 from the book. And we have a board full of stuff. So a Frost Nova would freeze our board, but he would probably trade into something. Let's see, what else could he do? Caval Lackey? Battle Cry. There's a new card. The next secret you play costs 0. Okay, so then he traded the Water Ellie into one of our Spirit Wolves. A secret comes down. A Frostbolt into the Buccaneer. And a ping on Patches. Well, why Patches, man? That's so cruel.
Alright, well, we
Another
draw
Doomhammer.
Doomhammer.
Okay, I guess we know what we're doing here. But anyway,
We're going to play Doomhammer?
I believe so.
Okay.
do you trade any of this stuff?
We're going to want to kill the Water Ellie just because otherwise our Doomhammer doesn't do anything. So we'll want to trade the Totem Golem and a Sheep in.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we have the Healing Totem at least.
Would you have killed the 2/1 first for effigy? Anyway, are we leaving that up? Or?
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about
think
effigy.
we should. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it either, actually. I'm not used to playing around effigy on ladder. I would bump in the Searing Totem just to prevent him from killing our Totem Golem next turn. And then I would just start hitting face. We have both Doomhammers, so there's no reason to hold back charges.
No.
Like say he Harrisons or he oozes, then we put another one.
Yeah.
Okay, this may be the ice block, I guess. I don't know.
I believe it might be, yes.
Another Water Ellie. So this is not Reno. That's good. And then the Cabal Crystal Runner.
This is some kind of secret mage.
Okay,
thing.
that's the 5/5 that costs 2 less for each secret you played. So he played it for 2. So he's like the thing from below for us, so to speak. Okay.
We drew a Lava Burst.
Wow.
Now, I'm kind of concerned here because we want to kill that Water Elemental, but the only way to do that efficiently is with the Lava Burst and Maelstrom Portal. Unfortunately, if that's Counterspell or Spellbender, that's not going to work out in our favor.
Should we hit Maelstrom Portal first?
If we think it's Counterspell, that would be right.
I would Maelstrom Portal first to see what happens.
No Counterspell. Now Lava Burst down the Ellie.
I
Water
believe so.
elemental.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it's just face, right? It was
Oh,
Spellbender.
spellbender.
Yep.
I would hit face twice here.
Hit base. All right.
We could have played around this a little bit by rock biting ourselves, hitting face, and then hitting the war elemental.
Well, but if it was counterspell, yeah, I don't know.
Again, yeah, that's the thing. There, it's hard to play around decks that aren't quite in the meta.
Yep. All right, so Mana Worm, Arcane Blast on the. What do we call him?
Totem Golem.
Totem Golem. Pings him down. Of course, he's going to freeze our face and then trade the 5/4 into the healing totem.
All right. Well, we draw our thing from below. So do we totem and thing from below?
Yep.
Totem.
And then you swing twice with a doom hammer. Oh no, you
think.
No.
I was going to throw the rock biter weapon on the
Gadget then. On the gadget.
It doesn't.
Yep. No, I would do that. I would do that.
Oh really?
I would. Yep, and I would kill the 5/4.
Oh really?
Okay.
Protect the.
A couple of reasons here. Yeah, the 5/4. This way, he doesn't have a clean trade to kill the thing from below. I mean, he has to trade 2 things in for the thing from below, which means hopefully we'll be able to use our Doomhammer again. Also, if we don't make this play, he removes the thing from below, that Rockbiter is never getting used because our face is going to be frozen.
Polymorph is what came out of the book. Ping. So we need like a real card here. So we will be frozen again.
It's not terrible, but not great.
Horse Rider.
Yeah, Argent Horse Rider. Doesn't quite get us to where we need to be. So...
I don't think we're equipping the other Doom Hammers, so we're probably going to totem first and see what we get. Hopefully taunt. It's not. I would play the Horse Rider, though, and kill the Mana Worm. Okay. It looks like it's not a Reno deck, which means
it isn't.
Eventually, yeah.
He's played 2 Fire Eleys. I mean, 2 Water Eleys.
Water Eleys. Or maybe it's Reno with 2 Water Eleys just to counter Pirate decks.
There's an Azure Drake. This is trouble now. Ping the Horse Rider, freeze the face, pass. Oh, another Crystal Runner, which is a 5/5 for 2 again. Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt for 4.
Ooh, so late to the party, and we're 1 off killing that thing. Still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we use the Lightning Bolt for anything?
I think we do have to kill the Azure Drake, otherwise we die in 2 turns. Yeah.
Hero Power. Taunt Totem.
Yeah, something.
And at least block some damage, yeah. He might want to keep the Water Ellie hitting face, so the Taunt Totem saves us a bit of health, but...
Another secret.
And Valet.
And Valet, so now...
Double Valet. Double Valet.
Oh, we just... Yeah, that's it. We're dead.
Yeah.
Next turn. And there's no way we can do any of this. Death by Water Ellie.
Yeah, well, this deck specifically is good against ours when we don't curve out very well. This would be a lot weaker against Pirate Warrior because they always have an explosive start.
Right, our start's not necessarily as explosive. Well, that was different, so that's something to give him credit for. It's a secret, no cards kind of mage. With water elementals that stick around forever.
It's like a weird mix of... I wouldn't even call it Tempo Mage, though. We don't know if he's running the Tempo Mage package.
I didn't see it, and he threw the coin so quickly, so didn't...
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm on the coin this turn.
This is Druid now.
I don't know if I'd keep any of these cards. Maybe the Lightning Bolt. I got King from Below, Rock Fighter, and the Argent Horse Rider.
I would throw everything back. Generally, it's Jade Druid or even just Ramp Druid. They don't have early minions that you Lightning Bolt. And we just want to guarantee... Oh, we drew patches. We want to guarantee our explosive start.
This is your curse. Patches.
I kid you not, in 20 games I threw 10 times on one night, and I just almost stopped playing.
10 times?
Do we?
He was very consistent. I
Do
would
we?
play Patches here, yes.
Yep. No patches out
The
there.
reason why is he kept 3 cards. If he has Wild Growth, Patches will push at least 2 damage because he's going to Wild Growth next turn instead of Hero Powering Patches down. And if he Hero Powers Patches down, that means he's not Wild Growthing, so we're kind of happy.
Looks
Yep,
like they're.
that's exactly what he's going to do. It's just Hero Power our friendly pirate down.
All right, turn 2. I draw a lightning bolt. So I got a lightning bolt, 2 feral spirits to coin, lava burst, and Thalnos.
I would play the Thalnos here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If we coin out the Feral Spirits, the only turn we have is Lightning Bolt, and I don't think he's going to play something on 3 that we can Lightning Bolt. This is similar to the Wild Growth turn we just had. If he plays Jade Blossom, the Thalnos lives. We can use it to kill the 1/1. We get an extra draw into a more valuable minion.
Okay, I would have hero powered.
This also is good against Innervate Druid of the Claw, but I don't think that's the likely play.
They wrath it.
Which is fine. It's a Wrath that's not going against the higher health minion.
Like Totem Golem?
Yeah. I would still probably play Feral Spirits.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I drew a Totem Golem, and I got a Rockbiter weapon off of Thalnos. Going to play Feral Spirits. I got a Lava Burst coin and another Feral Spirit in my hand. Lightning Bolt. And the Totem Golem. That will be my turn.
Here's where he starts innovating crap.
He kept 3 cards. I mean, it's very, very possible.
Wild Growth.
There's that Wild Growth.
And? Wild Growth.
Wild Growth.
Okay.
All right. It's party time.
Haha,
Ooh.
Flame Tongue. I was hoping to get Flame Tongue.
Did we do it?
No, I would actually play Totem Golem. Against Druid with their big taunts, you need Flame Tongue to be able to trade away your small minions.
Okay.
So if you play Flame Tongue and they remove it, you lose a very big asset.
Okay.
We're also sitting on a lot of burns, so I don't think we'll need extra damage early. I think it's better to just save it to trade efficiently and keep our annoying board alive.
Okay, so I went base with the 2 Spirit Wolves, played the Totem Golem. I got a Flame Tongue Totem, Rockbiter, Lightning Bolt, Feral Spirit, the coin, and Lava Burst in my hand.
All right, 5 cards for Druid, 7 mana on turn 5. Here's a swipe on the Totem Golem. And a Jade Blossom, so another ramp. And he gets a 1/1 Jade Golem. It's looking like innervating something.
Yeah, he's mousing over card, which is likely Innervate.
He decided not to play it.
All right, well, we drew a thing from below. Do we play the other Feral Spirits?
More Spirit Wolves? Ooh.
I would... So if we do use the other Feral Spirits, I would like to either... excuse me, coin out our Totem or coin out Flame Tongue. I still don't think we need to coin out Flame Tongue just yet, so I would like to Totem first and see if it's healing. And then we'd likely coin Feral Spirits anyways.
It's taunt.
Yeah, it's just taunt. But
Coin out the Feral
I would,
Spirits? Okay.
Yep. Put more minions on the board that the Flame Tongue can trade with. And I don't think we ever trade against the 1/1 Jade Golem here.
Leave it?
Yeah.
Go to face with both? Okay, all 4.
Push face. Trading doesn't really play around anything.
All right, so
He
that's
plays
what I
around,
do.
yeah, that's right. But he's going to have Azure Drake swipe.
Azure Drake swipe, actually, maybe.
That's the kind of thing people have against me on 9 cards in the first 10. So 5 cards. Oh, no, Moonglade Portal.
Okay.
And he gets a Bookworm. That's not that exciting for him. And a Feral Rage. Is he doing it for armor, or he's going to remove something? Just armor.
Interesting that he's doing armor. Yeah.
Alright, so we went back up to 8 armor, 27, and he used the Jade Golem to punch the Stoneclaw totem. Now he's innervating our Wrath to take down one of the wolves. That's an interesting line. Okay.
All right.
So he's
now,
down to one card and has a bookworm and a 1/1 jade golem. And he's at 35 life.
I drew Spirit Claws. Hmm. Let me think here. Boy, it's tempting to use that Flame Tongue now.
Now I would. We've seen 2 wraths and a swipe, so it's very unlikely it dies.
You put it
And I
in the
would
middle?
play it. Yep, no, that's where he placed it is fine as well. We're likely going to trade into the bookworm.
Oh, we are?
With the,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't think we need to go face here.
What do we use? The
yeah, we use the middle dog and the flame tongue totem, and the stoneclaw totem.
Yep.
And then I would go face with the other 2 dogs and use our spirit claws to kill the 1/1.
Oh, this time you do take it down. Yeah.
Just because we have the spirit claws, and eventually if we draw the Doomhammer, we'll use that. So the 1 damage ping makes it a bit better against, I don't know.
All right, so he's down to
got it all
27. There's the 6. He had it, I feel like, all along.
He had it the turn before.
The Jade Behemoth, and he gets a 2/2. That's fine. I think we have a way to deal with this. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Flame Wreath. We draw the Flame Wreath Faceless. Oh. I want a Hero Power. Hero Power, and we could Lava Burst down the Jade Behemoth if we got lucky. Or is that not what we should do? Do we Rock Bite or something?
You want to see if you get the spell power. You're feeling like a pro here.
I think the 1 and 4 is a bit risky.
Yeah.
we have a way in hand to clear the board while keeping both our doggies alive and developing Thing from Below.
How do we do that?
So if we Lava Burst the Taunt, the Jade Behemoth, and we use our face, that kills it off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We can also Lightning Bolt the 2/2 Jade Golem it spawned. That keeps our Feral Spirits healthy and prevents us from putting 4 damage into them.
Do we play Thing from Below?
On the far left. And then we punch face with dogs.
Yeah.
That
worked.
I was thinking about jamming the Faceless, but I guess this is better because it clears everything. So there's Fandral. Oh, this is Nourish? Nope, Jade Idol.
And that should be 8, 13, 14 plus 3, 17.
We need a little bit.
I don't think we'll have lethal.
Not without a little help.
Oh, well, that's going to help, but not right now.
Do we... Well, we drew our other Flame Wreath Faceless. Excuse me.
I think on this turn we don't need to use Rock Biter, so we're probably going to jam down a 4-mana 7/7 somewhere.
Okay, right.
Does
it matter which side? Oh, probably to the right?
Up to the right.
Yeah. Do you use the 4/2 and the face on Fandral, or do something?
I would do that, yes.
And then what do you want to do with Fandral?
So the 4/2 and
4/2 taunt
in
my face to get rid of Fandral.
This prevents any crazy Nourish plays.
Do we leave the 3/3?
We can go face.
Yeah, I think we just
leave the 3/3 out and we go to face with our...
Our board's so sticky that there isn't really a card he can draw that'll remove it. Even Nourish into 3 other cards wouldn't be able to remove this board.
If Yoks are on, though, that's going to be it. Hope's end, my friend.
Possible.
Here we go. He's got 1 card. Either place it or concedes.
Could be Ancient of War.
That's true. He dies anyway.
Oh. Something he can target.
It looks like a swipe.
I think it might be Living Roots.
No, Living Roots. It's swipe.
Just swipe.
It's not going to help that much.
Oh, he's just going down with honor, taking down the Thing from Below, but that brings him down to 4, which means he concedes. Yep.
All right.
I like that middle play. I would have tried to play the 7/7, but I think the way that we cleared was definitely better, especially with all his removal gone. That's really good.
All right, let's get one more in.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that game kind of shows that even without the crazy explosive start, as long as we kind of take our time and deal with his threats while developing our board, eventually Flame Tongue just does a lot of work. And when we drop Faceless and things from below, we can play them with a board and just make it. It's literally a snowball effect.
Yeah, I think that was another thing that Dan and I would have probably played that Flame Tongue unnecessarily early, and the Totem Golem was a much better play. Oh look, your pirate, Dad. Here we go.
There we go. We got the small-time Buccaneer. We're definitely keeping that. Playing what, a Hunter?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh.
Hunter.
I don't believe I faced a single Hunter with this deck, but I will try to advise. I would actually, so we drew Feral Spirits, Small Time Buccaneer, and Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt. Yeah.
I would keep all three.
That's what I was thinking. I think so.
The Lightning Bolt gives us a bit of a hedge in case he has a coin something play. Otherwise, we can Hero Power on 2 or draw something.
Yeah.
And turn 1's obviously going to be Small Time Buccaneer.
Yeah.
Oh, this was, I remember last night when I switched to Priest, there was this Hunter that played a turn 1, I think it was, 4/3 Fiery Bat that I think lived the whole game. Like, there was no way
Wow.
He had that buff card.
Oh, the 1-mana buff card that buffs a beast in your hand. Wow, that's...
And I was like, what do I do with this? There's nothing I can do.
Priest. That's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
This looks
Anyway,
like it is
you play the Buccaneer and use patches, and he plays a Beast Trader?
Battle Cry.
Beast Rager.
Battle
Beast
Cry
Rager.
go off though. I don't
Give
think
a
so, which
random
means
No,
he doesn't have
didn't-
any beasts in his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get a buff?
Right. So because of that, he either has traps in his hand or weapons or non-beast minions, which means on turn 2, he's probably going to play a trap.
Or another one of these things.
Do we
Hunter-
lightning bolt this thing down?
So if we lightning bolt this, we drew the second rock biter, by the way. If we
Yeah.
lightning bolt this on turn 2, we can't play Feral Spirits on turn 3, which I would really like to. We have enough burn in the deck, and we already have an aggressive start. So I'm fine using a rock biter here to clear to keep our board intact, and lets us play Feral Spirits on turn 3 as well.
Now this is where managing the overload becomes a kind of an important thing, and I can be eager also to just lightning bolt that, and then the curve gets destroyed. Yeah, hero power. He didn't even have anything. So this is going to be interesting. It's either a bad start or some crazy thing. Let's see.
Right. I drew a totem golem,
Mm-hmm.
but we're still going to go ahead and drop the feral spirits.
Yep.
I got the totem golem, rock biter, and a lightning bolt in my hand. Going to attack with patches and the small time
Oh
buccaneer.
gosh, that's it.
And he concedes.
He's had enough of pirates for today, Dan.
Maybe he had
I
like
guess so.
Savannah Highmane, Call of the Wild, Ragnaros in his hand. He's like, I'm never gonna get to play any of this stuff.
Maybe he has 2 oozes and we just didn't play a weapon.
Right?
Do you have one more in the tag, or you think that wasn't even well?
All right, let's try and get one more real one in. I know it's late.
I'm
for
trying
us,
to get
but-
more out of language hacker here. One
Yeah.
more. Oh, that was crazy. He's like, I'm not
This'll
gonna
be
mess
on the
with this.
Another benefit of this deck is when your opponents have played against pirate decks for the past 3 hours after work, sometimes they just concede on turn 3.
Oh, Anduin. What the heck?
Okay, well, we get half of our end of our deck here with the Rockbiter weapon and the Doom Hammer. I'd probably keep the Tunnel Trog and throw the other 2 back.
Yep, I would agree.
This is the first time you got the tunnel trog on turn 1.
Hey, don't jinx it. Don't. We're gonna draw like patches next.
No,
Hey,
no
check
patches.
it out. We get a Totem Golem and a Lightning Bolt. This is
Okay.
not too bad of an opening here, so I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt his face first.
First, get the face damage in.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Hey, Dan, this is a clean.
I was only kidding when I said that. Okay, I didn't do it. I almost did the misclick. Let's play the Tunnel Trog.
You
like
lightning
we're
bolt your
supposed to.
face. That would have been awesome.
I did that yesterday.
Lightning bolt face.
Accidentally grabbing a lightning bolt and going, dang it, that's not the card I want. Trying to put it back and lightning bolting my face.
Oh, perfect. We've all done it.
like I just about did there.
We've all done it at some point. Have we? Maybe. All right,
It's happened.
he
I did it
plays
yesterday.
another Spite Historian.
Oh, we get the small-time Buccaneer.
Oh, man.
But I really want to go ahead and play the Totem Golem.
Do we?
So let me explain. So if we play small type Buccaneer this turn, we get patches. We would have to Lightning Bolt the 1/3 to keep our patches alive and keep the board intact. If we play Totem Golem, he still can't kill our Tunnel Trog next turn. We can push face. He will likely play the 2/4 Taunt on turn 2. And if he does that, next turn with 1 Overload on turn 3, we have 2 mana. We could play Buccaneer, use patches and Lightning Bolt to kill the Taunt, and then continue pushing face. So in that case, I like Totem Golem first.
All right.
Yes. I think that's what Dan's instinct was to begin with, which is good. But
we never trade here. Priest doesn't have any attack buffing cards, and if he powered shields this on turn 2, he's not developing a minion that can contest our board, which we're happy with.
No coin Valence chosen? Oh wait, we're not in Wild. That hasn't happened.
The Wormrust Agent?
Yeah, so as expected, he plays the 2/4 with taunt. Oh no! Our plan has been destroyed by patches showing up.
In this case, I might actually
just Maelstrom. Ooh.
I kind of like Maelstrom a bit better here.
Okay, I hear you. All right, we're going to Maelstrom Portal.
Yeah, and probably trade in the Totem Golem.
Totem Golem into the Wormrust 8. And then we can take our Trog to the face for 2. We got a Twilight Whelp off of our Maelstrom Portal. I got patches, small-time Buccaneer, and a Lightning Bolt in my hand.
An important thing to note is that even though we drew patches, it could be useful to hold him until we get a Flame Tongue, because then he's no longer a 1-mana 1/1 charge. At that point, he's a 1-mana 3/1 charge, which is useful.
Yeah.
It's just sad to not see the cannon. That's a shame.
I like the cannon.
Oh, that cannon's so cool.
Alright, so he plays another Spite Historian, and he gets a Twilight Whelp out of that, or maybe the first Historian. So he's doing as good as he can to contest the board early here.
We drew a Lightning Bolt, so we got both of those in our hand. Well, we could play every card in our hand now. But I don't think we need to.
I think we can.
Should we?
We could consider toteming, actually. I think we want to use at least 1 Lightning Bolt this turn to clear the Twilight Whelp.
All right, we totem. We get a Searing Totem. We're going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt the Whelp.
Yep.
Lightning Bolt the Whelp.
And then I would... Go ahead.
No, I was thinking, which one do you use on this other Historian?
I would trade the Totem Golem. We didn't get a Healing Totem, so we don't value the Totem Golem's health that much, so we want to keep the Overload card stronger. I would also place a Small-Time Buccaneer.
Okay.
That has no charge or Flame Tongue synergy unless it's on the board already, so we might as well put that on the board.
It's a Twilight Guardian.
So our best draw, I think, is the Spirit Claws, which we didn't draw, but that's okay.
Thing from below. He plays Twilight Guardian. He's down to 21 now. The coin is gone. Is it gone?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
So we're a turn away from the potion. That's
right.
Okay, do we hero power and hope for spell damage?
I don't think we need to play Thing from Below here. We can play it after he clears our board later. So we hero power, see what we get. It is spell damage, in which case we can definitely Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt.
Use the 2/1.
2 more. Use the Whelp.
Use the Whelp. And I think we'd still keep patches for Flame Tongue. I don't think the 1 extra ping damage will be the difference here.
And we go to the face with the rest of our minions.
Nice.
It should
this Thing from Below in our hand.
We should note that he's played 2 Nanospite Historians, which means it's much less likely to be Reno. So pushing him low with our resources is probably safe.
He plays the Blackwing Corruptor, takes down our what's his name? Tunnel Trog. And we draw a Rockbiter.
Use a Rockbiter weapon. thing from below patches. Is there a reason? Should I like hero power and thing from below?
I think yes. Since he played the Corruptor and not a dragon, it's much less likely he's going to Dragonfire Potion last turn. And even if he has it, he's forced to play it, which means his Corruptor dies. Because of that, I'm okay playing the thing from below. And I would even 3, 4, 5 puts him at 7. I would. Do you ever hold patches here? I don't think I think you can hold patches here. I would push everything for face though.
Hold patches?
I would hold patches, yeah.
Really?
And go
So
to face?
attacking face here puts him at 7. If he plays Dragonfire Potion, any of our damage cards in our deck will be lethal because he can't heal himself. So pushing with patches, 1 extra damage doesn't really give us anything. If he clears the board, we can still push the 1 damage next turn, and the second Rock Biter is lethal. But if we draw Flame Tongue, then we'll want to keep the patches because at that point it'll be 3 damage, not 1.
There's the potion. And
We
Doomhammer.
drew-
Hammer.
Ding, 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 ding.
Survey
when, right?
says
Oh,
you're a
that's
pro,
not just
Dan.
enough. Haha.
Turn 7, no
good at
overload.
this.
Doomhammer Rock Biter, and we hit him in the face for 10.
Got him. Even
Sometimes
through
you
the
just
heel.
draw it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, look at that.
Oh, I'll
Excellent.
be playing this deck some more. Yeah, I like that.
And these, keep in mind, we drew patches this game. So
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
hand quality was lower. We had 4 1-drops. We ran out of steam. Sometimes you just push enough face damage against non-Reno decks.
So we lost against that strange mage with all the water elementals, but
Yeah, that secret thing.
the spellbender
Secret
was
mage.
kind of the backbreaker. Yeah. So cool. Well, I enjoyed that a lot. I did want to go back to what I asked before we started playing, because I think it'll help Dan and it may help some of our listeners.
Sure.
So you're a multiple legend player.
Yep.
Maybe talk about the first time and then some tips what you would tell people that are still trying to do it or to control tilt. I know you mentioned that you struggle with that or you're an emotional player and maybe give us some insight into how do you manage to do
Sure.
it consistently.
So going back to even before I hit Legend for the first time, I had picked up Zoo when it wasn't right when Zoo came out, when Raynat kind of created the deck, but after it became popular for a while, I tried it out, and I got up to rank 3, I remember at one point. This is after I hadn't climbed up to rank 5, like, ever. And I stayed at rank 3 for, I'd say, what felt like 100 games, and I just couldn't break it. And I got so frustrated, and I just kept trying to throw myself at the game and just say, like, make plays quickly, let's get through the game, come on, do I win or do I lose? I think the most important thing, which may be hard to keep in mind, is take your time on the turns. It may seem obvious, like, oh, I just top deck Talon Shrug on turn 1, let's play it. Give it a few seconds, figure out, like, okay, if I do play this, what's my next turn? What can my opponent do? Is it likely he can do that? He has 2 cards in hand. Is he going to have, Flame Strike or Lightning Bolt or whatever you're playing against? Take your time making the plays. Try staying with one deck for a long period of time. Not necessarily like weeks, but like if you're sitting down and you're going to play for an hour or two, pick a deck that and if you're trying to push specifically for Legend, pick a deck that you're comfortable with, because oftentimes if you play enough with a deck you're comfortable with, you'll become better at playing that than other people are at playing the meta decks. Now, that doesn't mean go play Secret Mage and you'll get to Legend guaranteed, but it can also shift when the meta changes or when a new expansion comes out. But play something you're comfortable with. Play something that maybe you know has been tried and true. Maybe you want to go with Pirate Warrior because you know people can get there with Pirate Warrior, so maybe you want to take a stab at that. Stick to it. Keep your cool. If you feel stressed out or anxious, go for a walk. And it sounds silly, and it's completely cliche, and I tell myself all the time, I'm not going to go for a walk, that's silly. But if you just get up, go have a drink, watch a TV show and come back, you'll find that like a clear mind can just help you sit back down and say, all right, I drew Tunnel Trog. Do I play it? Do I not? It keeps you in a better mindset. Because if you keep playing the game when you're tilted and emotional, it's just your body's going to associate playing the game with that emotional state. So every time something bad happens again, your body's going to say, oh, time to get emotional. Let's flip the table.
Yeah. That's a good thing to remember there.
Yeah, we've talked about versions of that, which I'm sure all our listeners or some of our listeners can relate to. You can tell with Dan that with the 12-1 thing, I mean, that just doesn't happen by chance. It's just like he was saying, the mental state of, hey, the stakes here are not, oh, I need to get to legend and all those stars staring at you and you lose them, and it's so, the animation is even painful to watch. You're like, no, they're vanishing. I think this was more like, let's give it a shot, and you were more relaxed, so that probably helped with it. So.
And I was like, hey, how it turns out. We'll see. Maybe I can at least make my gold back, whatever. And
before you knew it, it was like, whoa.
I keep trying to like fool myself that I'm like back playing on that while I'm on lat or something. I'm like,
okay.
But, it can also help having a friend spectate, because sometimes they might see a play you don't, or they can at least verify that, no, your play makes sense, go ahead and do it. And it also helps to keep calm.
Or you can disagree all the time like me. It's like, that's not what I would have done.
See, audibly like this, talking with people works good for me. But like we talk about sometimes these episode 17 moments, and on episode 17 I get into my talk about being a dyslexic ADD person. So trying to like read stuff when people try to chat with me and play the game, just I struggle. I try and keep it like the simpler decks, because with the time limit, trying to work through what my options are while trying to match up, okay, what am I playing against? Okay, it might be this kind of deck. What might be in their hand? What's my best play? And on top of that, trying to read something that somebody types to me.
Yeah. It's recipe for disaster, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I try, and I love it, because listeners say hi and whatnot all the time, and I do my best to, say a little something back. But I do feel bad because it can be kind of short sometimes. But but like talking it out like this, because since I started, we started doing this podcast, I haven't hit legend yet, but my play has gotten substantially better. So I'm getting there. I'm going to make it one of these days.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank Language Hacker again for coming in such short notice and showing us this deck.
I really like this deck. I'll be playing some more of this.
I think it's a solid deck. Shaman still lives.
Yep.
Shaman lives on.
It's not crazy complicated. It's right up my alley.
And again, you can check out his streaming at Language Hacker on Twitch. It's going to be on the notes for the show. Any other shout outs or plugs you want to give out before we land the plane?
Just my stream. Thanks for having me on. I mean, it's unfortunate I couldn't get here with the deck I was trying to make, but you get there with what you can.
Oh, what was that?
I was running a Jade, not quite control, but like a Jade Tempo Shaman up to rank 3.
Okay.
And when I couldn't push past that, a friend recommended I try this, and I did, and it worked after 50, 80 games, but it worked.
Okay. Well, maybe another time we can have you back, and you can maybe try one of your other recipes. I know you like to try different things.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, check out his stuff again. He's going to be trying for BlizzCon in 2017, so you saw him here first, folks.
Yes.
And we like to support our guests, of course. So
that's right.
Okay. Well, Dan, do you want to bring
us on home?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and listening to our shenanigans for yet one more show. And remember, you can go on over to HeathCoach.net for the website. Check out the That Happened page. Go on over to the BattleNet Exchange if you're looking to add some friends to your friends list. And if you want to help support the show, go on over to patreon.com/HeathCoach, and you can sign up there, and $5 a month and up will get you access to our quarterly tournaments. Please tell your friends and neighbors to go on over to iTunes and I guess Stitcher or Google Play or their podcast catcher of choice. Sign up. subscribe to our podcast, and please keep those ratings coming over there on iTunes. It means the world to us, and it keeps us up there and competitive with all the other highfalutin podcasts. So I really love that we're competitive with all of them, and I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I think you got it all.
Oh.
Maybe you mentioned the email.
Oh, the Facebook, Twitter,
Facebook.
HeathCoach on the other social medias. That's the one I was forgetting. You can check us out there, follow along, get notifications for when we go live, and cool things like that. All right, I got it all now.
Right, you sure did.
All right, thank you to our guest. Thanks, Language Hacker, for coming on the show tonight. We'll definitely have you back sometime. And to that, everybody, good luck getting to Legend.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Alright, so I stopped the recording, but the stream is still going. I don't know if there's anyone out there. There were some people.
We were kind of last minute.
Yeah, watching. Not sure if they have any questions that they want to ask. Let me see. Any post-show questions? I'm going to start processing this file, Dan, to get it to you. If you need to go Language Hacker, that's fine. I don't want to abuse.
I'll stick around. I'll stick around for a couple minutes in case people have questions.
Yeah. That was fun. If it wasn't for some crazy mage. Host Super Newman says, I'm here. Okay. Do you know Super Newman?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
We have at least one.
Maybe he has a question. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll definitely be playing some more of this one.
Are you guys done? The Avatar. Yeah, the show's done. I was thinking about maybe playing a little bit myself, but that would be just after this.
Yeah.
It won't be with the whole crew.
I got some editing and get some things posted, so we come out on time next week.
Yep. Language Hacker, can you post your Lotus Shaman deck?
Yep. There you go. This is like the third iteration. It was a bit slower and it had a lot of success against control decks, but there was just too many pirates, so I had to whittle it down and have some more anti-aggro tech in there. But that's what it's currently sitting at.
We have it's Matt. What's your opinion on counter Reno decks with something other than face? It's a good question.
Yeah, I think everybody's wondering that.
Double Dirty Rat? I don't know.
Oh wow, you're trying to pull Reno out of the hand?
Pull anything. Get Kazakus out of there. Get Draxus. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff you could pull out. A 4/1 Twilight Drake. I'm not sure. I think a lot of people are scrambling to find the answer to that because there are some J decks that are doing well against it, but the issue with J decks right now in ladder are that you have to kind of take them against aggro, and because you're taking them against aggro so that you can actually win against the pirate decks, it's actually much weaker against Reno than you would like them to be. So it's hard to find a happy medium between being able to survive against the aggro decks and be able to outvalue the control decks or Reno decks.
Play your own Reno and draw Reno all the time? Maybe that's how you do it. And get ready for 75-minute games? Oh, man. I don't know about all that. Let's see if anything else comes in.
I imagine if we had the time and we could stream on a more regular schedule, we'd have bigger audiences. But
yeah,
we don't do too bad for as randomly as we do this.
It was kind of last minute. Yeah, we probably should think about that for next year. Like set maybe the third Tuesday or something, we'll always commit to having a video show.
A regular video.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's just the two of us.
Well, we could make it a. I don't know. Could we make it a goal for Patreon?
Oh yeah, we had the producing a video episode, maybe a video live stream. We increase the goal. That's a good idea. We need to think about that for 17.
Yeah.
I know you have bigger ideas like BlizzCon and stuff. So anyway,
Sure.
It's Matt again. Will we see Weasel? Weasel?
You know the one man and one weasel.
Oh yeah. I don't think I got him. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't see a use for it.
I don't think we'll see those decks hopping around.
This thing, right? The Weasel Tunneler.
Yeah. So I feel like someone somewhere in a tournament will bring it just to, in one of their aggressive decks where they run Zoo or Shaman or something. They might run this just as, a troll, but I don't know how useful it will be. I mean, the effect can be useful. It's just, it's hard to use up a card slot in your deck for something that's kind of situational and not guaranteed to get value.
Right. Weasel.
It's funny when this comes off of Maelstrom Portal, though.
Yeah. Did you
Right?
Did you get patches or you craft patches? I crafted him.
Yeah, I crafted them.
I believe I crafted him.
I saw somebody. I think it was Avantis from Hero Power. He opened a golden patches. I was like, man,
Oh, that feels good.
That's solid. I was telling in the previous show that in every expansion on my first bunch of packs, I get the worst legendary. So I got, back when, whatever it was, I got Hemet. You remember Hemet? Nesingwary?
Mm-hmm.
Kill the Beast. And then I had Nat the Darkfisher. Garbage. And here I got the, what's his name? The randomizer guy. Noggenfogger?
Oh, yeah.
The mayor? I'm like, who's going to play this? I guess it's worth a try in some of these Reno decks, but I can't see 9 mana for a 5/4. It's insane.
Well, maybe I like one of those exposition games. They'll have it at BlizzCon. It'll be like mandatory. You got to play these like 5 crazy stupid cards, and Noggenfogger could be one of them.
Oh, it's like a rule. You have to play Noggenfogger.
Yeah. Hey, there's our next tournament, Chief.
Oh man, that's expensive.
The Noggenfogger tournament. It has to be in your deck.
Nobody's gonna spend 1,600 on that garbage. Man, thinking about an incomplete collection, put like Noggenfogger. No, thank you.
There'll be a few people that get it naturally. We'll hang on to it. I think I did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Have you seen it in play ever? Noggenfogger?
Played?
Define played. I saw it in a highlight video.
I got 18 packs of cards for
the snafu?
For the snafu, yeah.
Nice.
Anything good?
No. Said I would fill a couple of spots, but I didn't get any legendaries. Some dust.
See, this is one time where I heard that and I said, oh, Blizzard never does anything, so I'll just waited. I was out in a conference. I could have opened packs there, but I didn't. And then I was like, man, I could have gotten more packs. But, oh well.
I didn't even, think about it. I was just, kind of annoyed. I was like, man.
Instead, I got Mayor...
that one card.
Noggenfogger. That's what I get for my efforts. Oh, my gosh. Let's see.
Yes,
have you crafted anything else, Language Hacker, in terms of legendaries so far?
I had some dust saved up. Yeah, let me take a look at what I crafted here. I crafted White Eyes, Patches.
I got White Eyes. Woo!
Aya Blackpaw.
I crafted her.
And Ink Master Solia. The mage one.
I got her.
I crafted Rosalie Chained for Priest.
I don't have that.
And I think that's it.
You didn't get a Hobart? Grapple Hammer?
I got him. I got him in a pack, yeah.
Me too. And then I got Kazakus. I have a Golden Madame Goya. What am I going to do with this? This is another...
I have a Golden Sergeant Sally, and that was the first one I opened.
What does that do?
3 mana, 1/1, Death Rattle, deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. So kind of like a Shadow Flame Death Rattle.
Sergeant Sally.
All right, I'm gonna hop off for now, guys. I'm getting kind of tired.
Yep.
Yep. All good, friend.
All right. Thanks for having me again.
No, appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye. All right, I'll stop the stream then for now.
Alrighty.
Unless you want to stay on.
No. We got some. I got a little. Well, not much editing. Okay,
Actually, I'll keep it going. You're still live, just in case.
Okay.
Because I may play a few games. Let me see.
Alrighty.
Let me send you this stuff. 97. And I'm going to change the setup to one camera. Pirate Shaman. Yep. It's coming then. So I set it all up.
Alrighty.
You can do your thing.
We'll do my thing. And
we'll talk next time. Appreciate it, man.
We'll talk to you soon, friend.
Have a good one. Bye. Alright. Let's play some of this deck. See if we can get out of this disastrous funk. Hey, Kaiser Soze. Thank you. Alright, let's see what we do here. Don't give up. Well, it's a mirror, so he's probably going to have a pirate.
Happy Feast of Wintervale.
Ooh. Who goes there? I'm in charge now. Aye aye. No. Why? This may be too much. Aye aye. But he's overloaded for one, so maybe a lightning bolt in the face. Or maybe a totem golem. So I think here we just we could roll the dice. And that enables us to play this. And if we get the spell power, then it's even better. If we bump, it'll be death to a portal. Or maybe we just do the safe thing. Not mess around with any of this other stuff. Yeah, it worked out a little bit. We can go with this, these two, and then the dome hammer. I was afraid of that. So this is the jade. Okay, so he needs to roll the spell power into the jade. Let's just see. Maybe he decides to hex. Yeah, so then I'll play the giant. We'll see what that does. Is this too much? Too much overload, right? Let's go with this. Yeah, language, making questionable plays, including getting lightning storm like a boss. Boom. Well, we have our sort of finishers. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Looking for healing, right? Ugh, it's the worst. Well, let's go all the way in. Another storm, another maelstrom. This may be too much, but there's probably a Harrison or some junk in there too. Nope. Well, he needs to get rid of this. Okay. This is fine. I think we just have to smash him in the face here. Yeah. If he Harrisons, he's dead, so whatever. Don't care. Oh, this could be bad. Okay, no, he's dead. More fun. Be right back. Let me get some water and stuff. Alright guys, So probably a couple more games and that's it. I can't. Pretty beat up. Like I said in the show, I stayed up late like an idiot last night, so that was a mistake. So I just wanna go to bed. Can I reclaim that rank 5? Feels like a distant memory. Here come the Renos. Blech.
Shall be mine.
But then this is kind of cool against Zoo a little bit. I don't know. It's alright. Soul Fire, boom, gone. Don't give up.
I wonder. I wonder. Almost out of time.
Don't think it was necessary to coin this out. Yeah, this is Reno. This is gonna get Shadow Bolted. That's what they always do. Shadow Bolt. At least I have this, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. They always have all the answers. It's the first card. This is where it starts annoying the crap out of me. Hellfire. Yeah. Has to be an only Hellfire. No Demon Wrath. Okay, does not have it. The best draw will be Phantom.
Or selling.
I don't need Phantom though. No, it's Demon Wrath time. Siphon Soul. Quill. I don't know how all this happens in the first 10 cards.
Get your funnel case here.
Siphon Soul. Perhaps. 2. 5. 6. I don't know. A little bit more wary about that. Speaking of wariness, this game's gonna wear me out. This takes forever.
Many possibilities.
Hmm.
I have no time for games.
Sylvanas. Okay.
We hunger for vengeance. Giddy up!
Maybe I should have left it. Ugh. Yeah, I probably should have left it. I took the best thing. God. And Demon Wrath for 3 now. A joke. Maybe I should have left it. Shadow Flame takes that. Versus. And that's 2 damage. It was so much garbage though. Blech. Yeah.
The end is coming!
He's gonna Reno it or whatever, but I can't. He's gonna do it. Stealing Thalamus was the worst, right? Because he got the spell power he needed to clear the board with Demon Wrath that he had. Is the Sun Fury or some crap? That. 2. 5.
Don't worry, Lux. The cavalry's here. Giddy up!
Hey, Bandio, how are you? I've been facing this all week. It's the tilting deck. Ooh. How do they have all the AoEs and stuff? And they're a little annoying garbage. In order. Argus?
Shield up.
Who's gonna get through all this? Ever. iPhone sold. Yeah, an Earth Shock, huh? Wouldn't that be cool? Too bad nobody runs that.
So many possibilities.
this is gonna take some time to get through.
Almost out of time.
So many possibilities.
That took that long? I'm like, what the heck? Really? That was so hard to figure out. I should have conceded, but I'm gonna play it out just because. Why not?
I wonder.
My
Why do you call?
Not much you can do there. What do you mean froze Vandio? Like a freezing thing?
Versus
The same guy?
Gul'dan.
How much is this Reno trash? Oh, painful. Painful. Where's my friendly pirate, man? Where is he? Friendly pirate here. Well,
So many
oh wow.
possibilities.
Where you work some kind of freezer? Oh, it's a call it a warehouse, but it's a freezer. Jeez.
Buying or selling.
Maybe it's Hellfire turn. With my luck, it's very likely. play that. Oh, give up. Montana. Okay, wow, cool. You're way out there. Never been. I hear it's nice and quiet. It's like the country. Yeah, this is right out again. I'm unsure about that, to be honest. I'm not thinking the place through like language hacker was telling us we should. Shadow Ball. So 4, 7, 11, 13, 18, 19. Spell power. Nowhere to be seen. Hellfire? Reno? Siphon?
We're gonna be rich.
Every time. Alright, let's see here. So I can guarantee the 3.
Watch your back.
Seems like somebody just followed. Nice. I missed some attack 2 with this. Just 3 to attack. He should be at 20. This is where I need to go. Oh, nothing's coming out.
Extraordinary.
There's no room for it. Was it Shadow Flame? PO? I missed
So
it.
many
I messed this guy up,
possibilities.
unfortunately.
The end is coming.
7, 10,
cavalry's here. Giddy up!
And then I'm gonna get this thing nethered here. Unfortunately. I wanted to save this guy, but I didn't organize that properly. That's off the top. Off the top. So freaking annoying. It was completely off the top. I can't emotionally take it. It's too much.
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the power!
Sun Fury? Four, 8, 12.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here. Giddy up!
Extraordinary.
Die insect. Alright guys. That's a good way to do it. So appreciate you sticking around a little bit. Wish I could stay longer, but I'm pretty beat, as you can tell from not talking much. So thank you for watching the show. HeathCoach.net, and we'll see you next time. Peace.